Hi, I'm Dave Catalfamo, candidate for the 113th Assembly District. We're having this press conference today because right now in New York City, they're plotting to end the horse racing industry in New York. That's right, radical New York City Democrats are partnering with animal rights advocates in order to basically eliminate this industry. Now look, here in our region, here in Saratoga, we know how important horse racing is, both to our economy, but also to our culture. My background as an economic development specialist of over 30 years tells me that we need to do some key things in order to basically protect the industry, enhance it, and to expand its economic impact so that more and more people are enjoying the economic benefit of the industry. I have a 5-point plan to do just that. The first thing we need to do is we need to invest in what I'll call the Saratoga Horse Park. Now, the Saratoga Horse Park is not an original idea. There is a thing called the Kentucky Horse Park right now that operates, that celebrates the Kentucky horse racing industry. Understand this, the Kentucky Horse Park gets 800,000 visitors a year and has a $150 million annual impact on their economy. What Kentucky is doing, we could do it 1,000 times better here in Saratoga. We have the infrastructure, we have the brand, we have the amazing assets of people and workforce to make it happen. And what we would do is we would create an experience where people could come to understand both the industry, the horses, and all the ancillary impacts of our sport. You know, that includes everything from adaptive reuse to retraining, to events and conferences, and really create a place where families can come to visit and experience the Saratoga Horse Park, and as well as all of the local farms and adaptive reuse facilities, the museum, actually the National Museum of Racing, that's all right here, and bring those folks all here. And I would call for a public-private partnership to establish that. The second thing we need to do is, as I mentioned, I'm an economic development expert. And one of the programs that I ran many years ago was the I Love New York program. This is just one idea for how we can get the I Love New York program to invest the resources to actually market to out-of-state customers the unique asset of this region and of the state, frankly, of our horse racing industry. That would be a second thing that I would do. The third thing we need to do is we need to take care of the assets that are right here, right now, who are suffering under incredible competitive pressures. Our horse farms right now, much like our dairy farms and our other agricultural farms, vegetable farms, are really looking to be crushed by enhanced labor costs and feed costs and other issues like that. That's why I'm also re-upping my call for Governor Hochul to reject the increasing the threshold on the farm labor overtime, because that will have a devastating impact on our horse farms. The second thing we need to do is we need to focus on lowering the workers' comp costs. And I've set a goal of 25% over 3 years, but we must do what we can, because if we lose this infrastructure in the region, we will lose a valuable asset that is the key actually to bringing additional growth in the industry. The third thing we need to do is we need to take care of the stars of our sport. The stars of our sport, with all deference to jockeys who are amazing, are the horses. And one thing that I would propose would be to move the health and welfare monitoring of horses over to the Department of Ag and Markets. The Department of Ag and Markets has veterinarians and animal welfare experts around the state. But more importantly, they bring with them an attitude and a mindset about animal welfare and about the appropriate relationship of animals and work that is essential to both securing animal health, making sure that's a priority, but also making sure that is in the context of the industry and the overall sport. So that's really important. The fifth thing we need to do is we need to focus on ensuring that people have confidence in the integrity of the sport going forward. And I have to say, Naira and the folks here in New York have done an amazing job in bringing the sport forward. The facility behind me is incredible and has so much investment in it. But we've been marred by some high profile doping incidents over the past couple years, and we need to clean that up. And New York needs to be a leader in that. There's two things that we could do. One is we could work with the industry to ensure that any drug administered to a horse on the track would be done from a central pharmacy. That way we'd all be accounted for. Every drug that's ever given to a horse at the track, we would know what it was and there'd be a record of it, and that record would be available to the public for inspection. The second thing we need to do is that what's going on in doping, not just in horse racing, but in sports around the world, it has become more and more sophisticated than ever and more difficult to detect. The gold standard of doping detection is the USA Doping Agency. And while there have been some discussions about them contracting with a national body to provide this sort of expertise, failing that, New York State needs to step up and create a relationship with USA Doping so that we have the first class, the leading edge anti-doping policies in place here, that we have the testing and protocols to ensure the community, the policymakers, the public, the bettors, that we have the best, the cleanest, the most integrity of any sport, not just in America, but frankly in the world. If we take these measures together, if we continue to invest in horse racing, if we continue to expand its economic impact, we continue to leverage and showcase what an amazing area this is, horse racing will be here forever. But if we don't take action now, I'm afraid that my colleague, that my opponent's colleagues in the Assembly, the New York City Democrats, we will work to take this sport away from us. That's the plan. There's a lot to do. Thank you for listening, and have a good day.